All right, so today we're going to be making some rolls. You're going to need some milk, some butter, some sugar, some flour, yeast, eggs, salt, and we're going to put that all together. One and a half cups of milk. Then we're going to add that to a small saucepan and bring that to a simmer. We don't want to bring it to a boil, and just make sure you keep an eye on that while it cooks. For our sugar here, that's going to be going into our milk mixture. We're going to be doing 1/2 cup. Once our milk has come to a simmer, we're going to pull that off the heat. We're going to add our extra ingredients. So 1 stick of butter, put that right in there. We're going to also put in our sugar. That's going to go directly in there. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix that all together. Once you've got that all mixed together, leave it for a bit and let it cool down. Into 1/2 cup of warm water, we're going to add our yeast. We're looking at 1 packet or 2 1/4 teaspoons. And we're going to mix that all together there, get it nice and moist. And then we're going to wait for it to react and get a little foamy like this. All right, and then we're going to get everything ready for our stand mixer. So stand mixer, a dough hook, and of course the bowl to go along with it. Crack 3 large eggs into your bowl. Then we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm using kosher salt. Add our yeast mixture into the bowl. And then go ahead and add in your slightly cooled butter and sugar mixture. Butter. Now this recipe calls for 6 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to go ahead and put in half of it, which is going to be 3 cups of flour. And then the rest of it we will slowly add in while we are mixing. All right, and I like to start at a lower speed just at the very beginning. That way then we're not kicking up a lot of flour everywhere. So we'll start this off slower and then we'll bring it up a little bit quicker on our speed. And once it really starts to blend and mix together, we'll go ahead, we'll add in 1/2 cup at a time our extra flour until we reach the final 3 that we need to make up a total of 6. If needed, you may need to add in a little bit of extra flour just depending on where you're at, but your end result should look to be somewhat smooth, maybe a little bit of stick to it left, but you don't want it to be overly dry. From here, we've put our dough onto a floured surface. Just add a little bit of extra flour if it does have a little stick to it. With that floured surface, it will feel pretty good in your hands. And we're going to go ahead and knead this for about 5 minutes. Once you're done kneading, go ahead and throw that into a large bowl. And what you're going to want to make sure you do is grease the sides of the bowl to make sure that it doesn't stick to it. I've gone ahead and covered my dough with a towel, and I'm putting it in the oven, which is a nice little warm place here, for it to rise. And we're going to go ahead and let that rise for about an hour. After an hour, we can see it's about doubled in size, so we're going to go ahead and punch it down. Ugh! Again, we're going to flour our surface here. This is just going to make sure that our dough does not stick when we go ahead and roll this dough out. So you're going to take little bits off at a time. You can choose to eyeball it or weigh it out. I prefer to eyeball it, but we're just going to roll these into little circular balls here. The ones that I've done come out pretty large with the final product, so if you make them smaller, you will have more than what I end up with. All right, and then go ahead and get yourself some baking trays and line those with parchment paper. That will help prevent sticking and clean up for later on. Then just add those directly to the parchment paper. Make sure you give them a little bit of space as they will grow in size. Once added to the parchment paper, go ahead and let them sit and rise for about another 30 minutes. We'll then add them to an oven set to 350 degrees and bake for about 20 minutes. When your rolls are almost done, we're going to go ahead and melt some butter so that we can put those over the top of our rolls here. You can see that when they come out, they look, oh so yummy. But you know what would be even better? If we added some butter on top. And that will really add to the flavor of these rolls here, as well as really make that brown that golden brown that you get on top just really pop. And well, there you have it. Some delicious baked rolls that are great for the holidays or really for any time. You can make sandwiches with these. You can just enjoy a roll by itself. They're so light, so fluffy, so airy. They are delicious. But I'd like to thank you for joining us today as we go through making these rolls, and I hope to see you around more as we do some more cooking videos. You can also feel free to check me out on Twitch TV, where I stream PixeledToast, mostly playing games, and we'd love to have you there. So, hope you enjoy these rolls and have a wonderful day.